what's up everybody? Welcome to Car Question. Matt with
James.
And this week we are driving
the most sold vehicle in the world, the Toyota Corolla. But not any Corolla.
No.
Hybrid one.
Yes, the hybrid, and this one is all-wheel drive. So a lot of time we see comments that we are testing cars with a lot of electronic gizmo. You know, there's too much electronic today, too much stuff. And now Toyota is getting into that game. But it's still an affordable car. It's still one which is the most accessible and one which means reliability. Also, what's the strongest point about the Corolla over time, James?
The maintenance, it's not very expensive. The economy in terms of fuel consumption and the resale value is very high.
Yeah, it's really, really high. And back in 2014, let's go back in time and a quiz question. How much did a Corolla cost back then?
L trim was a bit more than $15,000 in Canadian, and LE trim $20,170, and for the S trim, the full equipped,
41.
yes, $21,170.
So we are at the 12th generation of the Corolla, and Toyota added some good values in it because now you can get it with an hybrid system and all-wheel drive. But how does it feel once you're behind the wheel? Is it really sporty? Well, guess what? Even if you have a fuel electric engine, it doesn't mean more power because it's still rated as same as the front-wheel drive at 134 horsepower and 156 pound-feet of torque. The 2-liter develops 168 horsepower, so it's not really strong when you compare it to the gas engine. But once you drive it, James, it still feels like a regular Corolla.
Yeah, that's what you expect from that kind of vehicle, this vehicle in particular. So it's not sporty, you don't have a sporty steering. It's a bit noisy, you don't know if it's about the engine, you know, the EV engines, or you don't know if it's just road noise.
Well, also, once you're going to drive that car, it doesn't take long to figure out that you have a CVT. You feel that the engine is kind of battling this transmission. I would have hoped to still get a manual, even with that hybrid configuration. Still, once you move from the help of the regular gas engine to the hybrid system, it's still pretty transparent. Under full acceleration, though, you can feel that noisy engine that will try to push the car. So yeah, the noise level is going to get up, but as soon as you're going to do some highway, besides some highway noise and some electric gizmo, sometimes you can have a talk, and yeah, the noise level is way much lower than a regular Corolla. But hey, with all those gizmos, does this make this car less reliable? Well, the answer is pretty much no, because this is kind of an older Prius technology, and there's still Prius around the year 2000 on the road here in Quebec. Remember, we have the worst climate, we have the worst roads, we have the worst everything, and you can still see some Prius, the first gens over here. So guess what? It's going to be reliable over time. And a lot of buyers that did own a Prius of those kind of generation will probably want to switch to that Corolla all-wheel drive hybrid because, hey, it's pretty much the same. But is it really worth it to go for an hybrid versus the regular gas one?
Yes, if you talk about fuel consumption, a front-wheel drive base Corolla will consume 7.4 liters per 100 in the city, 5.7 on the highway, and an LE hybrid front-wheel drive Corolla will consume 4.4 in the city and 5.1 on the highway. You know that this kind of vehicle are more efficient in city.
Yes, it is, because you're going to stop, you're going to accelerate, you're going to use all that energy to put it back in the battery. This is where it will shine. So if you want to go for an hybrid model, though, keep in mind that before you're going to make part with the money you spend to get this kind of option, you're going to have to do more than 160,000 kilometers if the fuel price is at $1.19 a liter. But let's say that it's like today at $1.69. Well, you're going to have to do, before you get to par with just the difference money you have to spend to get an hybrid.
You know what, Matt? With the economic condition that we have today, and the price of vehicles nowadays also, I think people will keep their car longer and longer, you know, and that kind of Corolla that is reliable, most people that will buy this kind of vehicle and keep it will get par before they sell it.
Yeah, because more and more today, I will suggest to you that you keep your car the longer as possible as you can, because cars are so expensive, and today the price of a Corolla like this one will simply go up really, really fast. You're going to be touching at the $40,000 really quickly. Remember the price in 2014? I kind of missed those good old days. So is a Corolla all-wheel drive is a nice thing to have because it's only available with the hybrid system. It's going to cost you, let's say, 0.2 liter per 100 more versus a front-wheel drive, but it's also a little bit more than $4,000 for SE to SE difference to get that all-wheel drive system. So what do you think about that, James?
I think it's worth it, but you know, I don't really care about the all-wheel drive with that kind of vehicle because its main purpose, it's in city. And in city, the time that we'll get bad snow and you have to have your all-wheel drive do all the work, it's pretty rare.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. 98% of the time here in Quebec, we roll on roads that even if you got a front-wheel drive car, you're simply able to roll and move along. And all-wheel drive is a nice thing to have, but when do you need an all-wheel drive car before the snow stops you?
Yeah.
In a snowstorm, maybe you can wait and drive the next day.
Yeah, exactly. And for the $4,400 difference between an all-wheel drive and a non-all-wheel drive Corolla SE, maybe I would go for the front-wheel drive trim.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about price. This is getting a little bit confusing because you've got 8 different models of Corolla. Remember back in 2014? I told you it's a lot different today. So if you go for a base model LE versus the LE hybrid, it's a $2,300 difference on the suggested price. So as you can see, it can climb up pretty quickly. But remember that a base Corolla L with a CVT can cost you only $585 per month on a 60-month financing option at 6.09 APR financing, which will get up the total to $35,000. But for the car that we are driving right now, check that. And same thing for our US friend. You've got all the info right there about the price of a Corolla, which change a lot over time. Jeez.
But you know what, Matt? Yes, it's pricier than the 2014 Corolla, but the fact is, remember when I said in another review that I would like a vehicle with less technology but more fuel efficient? It was for the EVs and a more affordable price, but this one is kind of it. That's the deal. This car is the most affordable hybrid out there and doesn't have any technologies that are flashing or anything like that. Yes, that there's the 2-inch plastic between the multimedia system and everything, but no, that's a
flashy.
detail.
That's not flashy.
That's a detail, but that kind of vehicle, that's what I'm talking about. You know,
Yeah.
there's no 60 different materials, there's no leather
it's
from the other
good,
part of the world or anything like that.
It's a good first car that you can buy. There
Exactly.
you go. So on the minus side, acceleration performance, even when their battery is going to be empty, you can feel the performance difference. It's not really strong. You've got also the noise level on the highway. Well, when you get in the rear leg room, even for your head, it's not really big. Even in the trunk, it's not one of the biggest in the segment. That interior is kind of sober, same color, nothing flashy inside. That all-wheel drive system is only available with an hybrid, and there's only CVT. That's kind of sad. But on the plus side,
the super duper mega cool fuel economy there.
Yes.
That's really nice. The all-wheel drive, it's not best all-wheel drive on the market, but it helps in winters and we
Yes.
like that. The general reliability of that vehicle, you won't have any problem, at my opinion, with that Corolla. The Nightshade edition in the USA, you're the lucky one. Even with the back diffuser with the 2 muffler tips that looks sporty on that Corolla, the Nightshade is way better. And this is a practical car.
yeah, it is. So there you go. There's a lot of model of Corolla to choose from. We did not even talk about the GR, the Corolla Cross, the hatchback, name it. It's a little bit more confusing than back in the day. But hey, what's your favorite Corolla? Right there in the comments down there below. Thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you another time on another video of Car Question. Bye-bye.